my evening stream is going to change days week to week just because doing every Wednesday has been a little bit hard to keep up with. So I'm still going to have the goal of doing one evening stream a week, but it's not always going to be on Wednesdays moving forward. This week, my evening stream will be Saturday, in fact, because I'm going to be going all day Saturday into the evening for a minimum of 12 hours. I gotta mulligan this, just no functional mana. I think it's decent. I get a scry here. Probably just gonna go Colonnade pass. I think we've played this deck in the past, and one of the conclusions I came to after playing it was that Logic Knot for Logic Knot was a little bit clunky. In the right matchups, Karanos can do a whole heck of a lot, but if you don't hit those matchups, he's really clunky and slow. Which, again, Modern, by and large, is a format that's about generating tempo and being mana efficient, and Karanos doesn't really do either of those things. He's like a slow card advantage thing. It's a very adult number of 4-ofs. Very, very much agree. Ooh, rats! I got so excited when they fetched Basic Mountain. I was like, burn! We got a Helix! Yay! Flame Wake Phoenix. Alright, Hallowed boys. Hallowed boys and girls. Well, I can't cast Logic Knot anyways, so I might as well do this. I think I'm gonna bottom this land and definitely top this Path to Exile, right? Like, Path is very good in this matchup. Quad Laser Jeskai. Lost my path. Magic's fun. Alright, if we can dodge a Hallowed one this turn. If you can dodge a Hallowed one, you can dodge a ball. Hey, Nevra, thanks very much for the brand new tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. Alright, so I can't even Bolt plus Helix this because I don't have double red. That's really brutal. Snapcaster, please. We had a Snapcaster for a second. For a second, we had a Snapcaster. It's not even that Hallowed one is too powerful. I actually think Hallowed one is pretty power level appropriate for the things that are going on in Modern. Just Burning Inquiry is such an emotionally taxing card. It's just like this card that makes me feel bad about playing Magic. I just like, I play it and I'm just like, I'm sad that I'm playing against this card. Snapcaster Mage is a great pickup here. Very, very good pickup for us. So you get to go ahead and kill their thing. This, unfortunately, is going to give them their blood gas back by triggering their landfall, which doesn't feel great, but it is what it is. Sorry, it's almost 2 o'clock here and I haven't had a formal lunch. I usually just take quick snack breaks during my shorter streams like this. Yeah, I think this is fine. You don't really want to Spell Queller a flashback spell, because then they're going to get to play it and then flash it back again. My sandwich has a tie, yeah, exactly. See, you get it, Anoronics. Am I just end-stepping this Queller? I think I am. I think I'm just end-stepping this Queller. I have a Fatal Push here, maybe? I guess they could have a Bolt as well. God, that's so good for us. So they're dead to Helix, they're dead to Bolts, they're dead to Snapcaster Mage, they're dead to a lot of things here. They're dead to Untapped Land. They're not dead to Untapped Land. One short that way. The Hallowed One deck is very consistent. The reason I dislike the Hallowed One deck isn't because it's inconsistent. I dislike it because it's emotionally taxing to play against. It feels bad. Unlimited catered burgers, that's great. Yeah, looting's fine here, right? I have Logic Knot as a safety valve against anything that I might need to stop here. You basically just want to stop them from having blockers. Yeah, we've played the Hollow One deck on stream before, and it always seems sweet to play. Just concedes in response to me starting to tap mana. Fair. Do I have actual 0 sideboard cards to bring in here? That's not true, J-Man. That's not true. That's not how Flashback works. Flashback says if it would go to anywhere other than the Exile Zone it instead. And Spell Queller's putting it into Exile. Yeah, some of Braids might be okay in the sideboard. I don't know. I feel like we're pretty... Maybe I just like want to trim some of these Logic Knots. I guess I don't hate this. Or like this. I kind of don't hate this. Let's do this. I don't hate this configuration. Just like, I'm not a huge fan of Logic Knot. Yeah, I think where Damping Sphere is too narrow, because our deck often wants to cast multiple spells in a turn too, so I think you only want to bring in Damping Sphere when it's like super high impact, like against Tron or Storm. Peace, Izzy. Thanks for dropping by. This is going to be our last league anyways. Yes. Yeah, that's exactly why you want to avoid Quellering things that are flashback a lot of the time. Because if you Queller a flashback and then they kill the Queller, after it recasts from the Queller, it's going to go to their graveyard. Is how Magic the Gathering works. So, I'm actually going to fetch a Sacred Foundry here, untapped, so that way... Well, I guess it depends on what they do. If they do something that implies I'm going to want to Path to Exile next turn, I'll get Sacred Foundry. Otherwise, I'll probably get Steam Vents. Oh, wait, is there only one Steam Vents in my deck? I think there might only be one Steam Vents in my deck. There's only one Steam Vents in my deck. Gosh, that's a little greedy. I guess I'm getting Sacred Foundry. This is actually the only red source we could get here. Because of the way our hand is. I didn't realize that. Alright, I heard someone say one time that Moto never discards the center card in your hand or the leftmost to Burning Inquiry, so I'm going to do that. Obviously this works and Moto is bugged. I'm not gonna say that always works, but I'm just saying I heard someone say that one time, and I might do that on occasion now. We have the technology is what I'm saying, chat. Our Steam Vents is gone. Our Steam Vents is gone. What's gonna hit the Tron button? Yeah, I agree that there's 4 Spirebluff Canals in this deck, which seems okay, but like the second Steam Vents is probably better than like the 4th canal, right? Yeah, I don't know if that's fair. Like, boring's pretty subjective, and like what one person finds boring, another person finds interesting. So I think boring, like, whenever I talk about decks being good or bad, I generally try to focus my argument around what I consider like quality of gameplay. Because I think quality of gameplay are things that we can tend to be able to measure kind of objectively, whereas like boring or fun are things that are harder to measure. I feel like we can create a consistent system with which to define things that are quality gameplay and things that are not quality gameplay. So if they put a Hallowed Boy into play here, we'll probably path that. If they don't, we'll likely be Izzet Staticastering this Bloodghast. How good is Jund? I think Jund is pretty mediocre at the moment. I think it just takes a lot of damage from its lands. I think if you want to play a green-black mid-range deck in Modern, I think straight green-black is a little bit more better and more consistent. Getting to play 4 copies of Field of Ruin is a big deal. The chess contents have not been updated yet. I think they're getting updated with tomorrow's downtime, Timu. And again, not Quellering this, because if they kill the Queller, then they get an extra Faithless Looting. No, I don't use Mana Traders. I think Mana Traders is kind of expensive for what they do. I think I'm just end-stepping this Queller now because I want to kill them. That feels bad. When I own cards on Magic Online, I buy from MTGO traders. Card Sphere is only paper stuff. No, Mana Traders is the only rental service on Magic Online. Grixis Death Shadow is a fine deck. Like, it's hard for a deck that's as proactive as Grixis Death Shadow to be truly bad. I think if you are someone who is changing decks 10 or more times per week, Mana Traders is the only service and it's worthwhile. If you're not changing decks a dozen times a week, the resale value on Magic Online cards is not like paper cards. When you resell Magic Online cards that you've bought, you get close to 90% of your value back a lot of the time. So generally it makes sense to just own, unless floating, you know, the few hundred that it's going to cost you to own the deck for a period of time is going to put you out. Yeah, I think Bardu Pyromancer is a very good deck. It's very consistent. Barbecue and Fireworks Day. Magic Arena looks really great. Why not Path instead of Helix? Because Path are my harder answers. I think we're a favorite as this game goes long, so long as my opponent can't stick a Delve threat and can't stick a Hollowed one. So I want to just leave myself as many answers to Delve threats and Hollowed ones as possible. They have a Fatal Push here. That's unfortunate. So I'm going to crack this fetch land so that way when I bottom cards with the Serum Visions, I don't have to shuffle them back into my deck anytime soon. The 1 point of health doesn't really matter, whereas like redrawing a bad card I don't want could be detrimental. Okay, I mean, yo dog. Can I Snapcaster my Staticaster? Is that how this works? I'm gonna bottom this, top this, and then I'm gonna snap Serum Visions. Am I in the market for this Helix? I feel like I just want another threat. Although I guess Helix is probably better than a random. Am I supposed to path one of these? I'm gonna path one of these. Still have a backup path here in case they draw a large threat. This makes us pretty difficult to race. I guess if they draw a threat here, I'll feel pretty bad about burning this path, but other than that, we're doing pretty decent here. Whenever I'm interacting with people over Stoneforge Mystic in Modern, and they bring up that Stoneforge Mystic is this powerful white card that every white deck would play, so that means it can't be unbanned, I always want to be like, have you heard of my friend Snapcaster Mage and what he does for blue decks? Can I interest you in my friend Snapcaster Mage and what he does for blue decks? I think cantrips like Preordain tend to make for boring games of Magic the Gathering. I think some of the things that are interesting about Magic is some of the variance that comes from your draws, and if your decks have too powerful of cantrips, they become hyper consistent, which makes them uninteresting a lot of the time. What if, instead of killing that, we didn't? So I'm going to return this to my hand and draw a card. Like, I don't think you should ban Snapcaster Mage, but I think a lot of the arguments that people use to keep Stoneforge Mystic out of Modern can be applied to Snapcaster Mage and many other cards in the format. Which is, again, goes back to the Wizards of the Coast isn't terribly consistent with how they apply their ban list. I'm going to snap Bolt here. And then they're dead to a burn spell, assuming they don't have removal. Rodella1, thank you very much for the brand new Twitch Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting mine this month. Peace, Trey. Have a good one. Argument for... I like that one. They're going to unban Stoneforge as soon as it's in a supplemental product, right? Are you about to get double Delve Threat? I think we're about to get double Delve Threat. Yep. Yep, they have Trip Flame Wake Phoenix in the bin. Alright. Hoping for a burn spell. So Rog, that's horseshit logic. Should we not make M19 cards be legal? Should M19 not be Modern legal? What about the set they print after that? Should that set not be Modern legal? Modern's good right now, so we should never introduce a card back into it before. Like, that's shitty logic too. We're gonna keep printing cards into Modern. Like, it's okay for things to change. Change is good. I know change is scary, but it's also okay, okay? I know it's terrifying for things to maybe be a little bit different than they were a second ago, but it's not always bad. Not putting in a card that can obviously make a change in a bad way. There's cards in every set that you can make the argument that could make Modern change in a bad way. Shelly8, thank you for the 5-month resubscription. Welcome back. Sleeton, thanks for the bits. I appreciate it. Like, people really just don't get about consistency in applying your arguments. Like, that person, like, genuinely came back in here. I was like, well, what about, should we still print new cards? Like, yeah, that's fine, but Stoneforge Mystic, that's not. That could change stuff. It's just like, why is it okay for one thing to maybe change things, but other things it's not okay for them to change things? Like, why the double standard? Why be hypocritical? Any good budget decks for Modern that I recommend? Blue-Red Storm doesn't play fetch lands. It's usually pretty affordable. That deck's very good. This hand might be a little bit slow on the play. Might be a little bit slow in general. I think it's okay on the play, though. Maybe, Sess. I don't know. Grim Lavamancer requires mana to activate every turn, which is a real cost. If they have a Hallowed Boy here, we're probably going to be in trouble. Yep, I'm the beat sometimes. So, sorry, someone else asked while I was sideboarding there, if there was merit to pathing our own creature at the end of that last game. Pathing your own creature, thinning one land out of your deck, is statistically insignificant in terms of the deck thinning that it does. And because my opponent only had 2 blockers and they were at 1 health, not pathing allowed me to draw a second path or another removal spell that wasn't burn to get rid of both of their blockers and kill them with my Snapcaster Mage. So pathing my own creature gave me a very minuscule amount of percentage points, whereas waiting to path gave me extra cards in my deck that were lethal at the end there. All right, let's find our next match. While we're waiting for the next match to pop, I'd just like to say thank you to everybody who's hanging out here today. I do appreciate it. Thanks for all the wonderful support. Remember, in addition to subscribing to my channel, which supports me directly and keeps me here, you can also support my stuff by checking out some of my wonderful sponsors. Cardsphere.com would love to help you turn some of your cards into other cards or cash, strictly to the players. There's no haggling. They just take a 1% fee off the top. InkedGaming.com would love to help you customize your gaming experience. Using code Jeff12 at checkout, you can save 12% on custom playmats, mouse pads, binders, and bags with them. CoolStuffInc.com sells a lot of cool stuff, including TCG singles. Using promo code Jeff5, you can save 5% on Magic, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh cards with them. And of course, this stream wouldn't be possible without viewers like Anironics, Justin Nivik, and all of y'all out there. Thanks for hanging out today, folks. We've got 2 to 3, maybe even 4 matches left in this league, depending on how we're doing with this Jeskai burn deck before we wrap up for the day. I appreciate everybody hanging out while we do so. I'll be back again tomorrow as soon as Magic Online comes off of downtime. We're going to be playing Legacy without Deathrite Shaman. It's exciting. If you look in the donation queue, I'm just going to start at the top of the Legacy queue and work my way down. So just start at the top of the queue, slow and steady work our way down. I'm going to bottom this and top another Electrolyze here. Definitely just in the market for spells. Could be Jund, could be green-black, could be Abzan, I suppose. Probably Jund or green-black. Interesting that they let on... It could be a Sultai deck with Misty Rainforest. That's interesting. I don't believe so, Digital Drummer. What constitutes valid reasons for banning a card? It depends on who's doing the banning. It depends on what the goals of the formats are. There are lots of reasons you could make up for what constitutes banning a card. Ultimately, the people making the decision have to decide what those determinations are. Well, that's why you practice with them, Earl. I definitely would recommend, my #1 recommendation is proxying anything before you put out any of your actual money and actually buy something. So you should get a stack of bulk and a Sharpie, or get on Cockatrice or something like that with a friend and play the deck before buying it. Yeah, 8-Whack's pretty good too. 8-Whack's an aggressive deck. We played that a little bit on stream before. Because I just use whatever basic land Magic Online loads up by default. Usually, sometimes I take a second and put like the basic lands that I really like into a deck, but a lot of the time I just leave them auto defaults in. Stand up for the rest of the stream. Try it before you buy it. Yep. So what I mean by proxy is a lot of the times, especially when like you're preparing for new formats and stuff like that, or you want to try something without buying it, proxy means to make a fake card, make a placeholder card. So you take cards that are worthless and you write the names of cards that you want to pretend that they are on the backs of them, and then you play them with your friend saying, hey, this face down Magic card that says Tarmogoyf on the back of it is a Tarmogoyf, and I'm gonna play like it's a Tarmogoyf. So I got kind of punished for fetching a tapped land there since I drew Logic Knot. So now I have this Liliana to deal with. I think I'm just binning this island here. There's also a piece of software called Cockatrice, which... It doesn't have a rules engine, but it does allow you to play Magic on the computer with friends and random people online too if you're really into it. But that's a good way to load deck lists up into there and play them that way. It doesn't have any rules automation like Magic Online. It's basically just like a sandbox environment. If you're playing with friends, I definitely recommend Cockatrice over X-Mage. X-Mage is really clunky. Beast DMS, Lightning Bolt. They have a Delve threat as their last threat here. I wonder if they're playing the Sultai deck we played last night. Did that have Lily in it? I think it had Lily in it. Yeah, it did, right? Smells like a Delve threat. We have 2 shots to find a Bolt here to take this Liliana off the table. I'm a big sucker for Knight of the Reliquary, so I'm really hoping that Maverick feels really good in the next format. Feeling pretty bad. Fun fact, when I was testing for SCG stuff a lot of the time, I would play decks against myself when I was especially preparing for new standard formats, and I would often do that by like loading up decks side by side in my web browser on Tapped Out and like playing Magic against myself to get a feel for how a deck kind of plays out in a given matchup. All right, Helix and Bolt are both good here, and then I still need a way to deal with this though. That's really unfortunate. Oh, jeez, they get to activate Tasigur too. Are very dead. We might have to put Jeskai on the no-fly list for a while. I feel like these blue-white control decks in general, they just leave so much to be desired in this format. They always feel kind of clunky and awkward. Grim Lavamancer, okay, maybe. Grim Lavamancer, okay, maybe. I'm actually looking forward to a couple of days of playing a bunch of Legacy with the new ban list. I feel like I need a little bit of a modern palette cleanser. Negate's okay. Playing cards in a matchup like this that don't play to the board tends to be bad. Like, that last game's a good example of why counterspells are a little bit medium in this matchup. Because the opponent's deck often gets on board, and then we're going to want cards that come off the top of our deck to interact with their board. The blue-red prison deck got tedious and boring, just like most Ensnaring Bridge decks do after playing them too much. We played a bunch of blue-red prison in a really short amount of time, and actually winning the game with the deck is extremely tedious. I agree that Electrolyze isn't very good, but I also think, like, most of these other cards in our sideboard aren't very good. Like, maybe these Spreading Seas and this other Grim Lavamancer could be fine. I could see that being a very real possibility, that those cards are things that we're interested in having in our deck. I don't know about isn't good. I love Grishelbrand, but that deck's actually pretty competitive. Honestly, a lot of the decks that are just like full stop, like obnoxious, like they're not actually fun to play if you wear them out. They're like neat to play on occasion, but like if you just play them every day, they get a little bit boring because you get beat up enough times with them. So I'm putting on Amulet Titan. Amulet Titan's sweet. I think it's a deck that has a pretty efficient, it has a really neat toolbox aspect to it, while also being able to grind to have explosive nut draws. I don't think Amulet Titan's like, I wouldn't qualify that as like an all-in meme deck though. I think that deck's just like genuinely good. I think it's like Grishelbrand. It's like has really neat explosive gameplay while also just like being a genuinely good modern deck. Mono Red Sneak Attack's never done anything really in Legacy per se. It's a fringe tier 3 deck. I'm gonna go top here. Like, blast the Helix to your face, blast the Helix to your face. You got some salty bits there, Justin. Don't you take Teferi away from me. That's a 4/5 Goif. I think I'm just gonna keep sending these Lightning Helixes upstairs at this point. Like, this is gonna put them to 9. And then the next Helix is gonna put them to 6. And then we can play Teferi the turn after that. I guess in this particular situation, Teferi would have been better as a... Teferi would have been better as a Logic Knot, actually. I believe it's twitch.tv/prime to link your accounts up. I think Mono Blue Omnitel is a genuinely good deck in Legacy. And I think it's one of the decks that's going to stand to gain some of the most from the updated bannings that happened recently. This Teferi's going to get counterspelled next turn and I'm going to vomit everywhere, but... let's give it the old... I didn't fetch there because I knew there was another Flooded Strand on top of my deck. Jackson99, thanks for checking out Honey. I appreciate that. Thanks for the support. My article on Gathering Magic on Friday will be talking about my thoughts on where Legacy as a format could be heading after the most recent ban and restricted list update. So if you're one of my subscribers, I posted an unedited preview of that article in the subs Discord today. Do I have a list for Mono Blue Omni? There are a few of them on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Jeff Hoagland. Everything we've played in the past can be found there. What is Honey? Honey is a free browser add-on that when you're shopping online, it looks at the stuff you're shopping for in your cart and says, hey, can I find any coupon codes to make this stuff cheaper? And if it can find coupon codes to make your stuff cheaper, it offers to make your purchases cheaper. And if it can't make your stuff cheaper, it just leaves you alone. So it doesn't bother you and only does good things. Really slick integration. As part of a sponsorship thing to promote them here on my stream. If you install it via that bit.ly/HugoHoney link, you're also supporting my content when installing that. Alright, well, it's Visions before we Teferi here so we can get some looks in. That's a Snapcaster Mage and a Path to Exile. And we actually get to draw both of these? Well, that's great. That's great. IRL Tag HD, thanks for checking out, Honey. Hey, Isubus, you're catching us right at the tail end here. So... I'm gonna plus Teferi first here, because I know I want both the cards on top of my deck, and then I'll play the Serum Visions. I definitely want... God, this Teferi is just gonna bury them. So, I can path this, and then I'll Snap Helix them at end of turn. Alright, am I supposed to... Gregor the Nerd, thanks for checking out, Honey. So this happens at our end of turn. So they have no cards left in their hand. So let's play Snapcaster Mage, and I think I'm going to path this. Maybe I should have Helixed it just because I have so many Helixes in my bin here. But I don't want this to gain them health, so definitely just want to get this off the table. What do you think of 4 Devastation Tide, 4 Terminus? Justin, you should look at the Grand Prix results. Sleaton, thanks for the 100 bits. There were a bunch of Terminuses in the top 8 of the European Grand Prix. So if you really want to play Terminus, you should look at that. I think I'm on no blocks here. Reichko, thanks for checking out, Honey. Faithless Looting, can you do the explaining yourself thing? Why? I think people underestimate how good Black Red is. I think the Black Red deck is genuinely very good. Mods cannot time themselves out. So, end step here, I'm going to tap their creatures and draw a card. Sweet. Sweet. It's sweet like honey. Alright, I'm gonna trim at least one of those and get another Lava Man in here. I'm just gonna do that. Hot take, Faithless Looting. I think even with those better tools, it's still not actually that good against those hate cards. And I think they're both bad, and I think they're both medium against it, and I think Black-Red is more blistering, so I'd rather play that. No, we don't have anything too fancy planned. I'm just probably going to go upstairs and make a sandwich after we finish this league. I'm probably going to take the kids out to see fireworks later tonight, though. Probably not, Persip. I don't think it gains quite as much as everything else does. I've always kind of been of the opinion that Death and Taxes is just like shitty Maverick. I don't think that's strictly true, Faithless Looting. For KZN, thanks for checking out Honey. I think Legacy is still gonna have a lot of brutal quickness to it, so like being super fast is great. Trowie, thanks for that brand new Twitch Prime support. Welcome. 25k bits for me to run another league. Deal. Call, Anoronics. This is match 2 of this one. Yep, in. And I'm gonna message Christy and ask her if she can bring me some food then. Nice, Dizzy Drone. I love this stream. Alright, so I'm just gonna go ahead and attack with this. I think I just attack with this and then like go Scalding Tarn, second Grim Lavamancer. I'll put a mulligan pretty low this game too. I didn't notice that. Redfish, thanks for checking out Honey. This is me helping Anoronics with the pitiful amount of bits I have. Thanks, Sky. So getting our fetch lands out ASAP. Deborah, thank you very much for the brand new tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome. And thank you, Anoronics, for the generosity. What's the next deck? That's a good question. Anoronics, anything you want to see from the queue? Otherwise, I'll probably just snip something off the top. Actually, I think we have Grixis Goryo as foretold towards the top of the queue. That's kind of a sweet one. Should we do that? I kind of feel like flooping a pig into play. And that deck floops some piggies. That deck was way better than I was expecting it to be last time we played it. My expectations were like really low. That's a good draw too. They followed up with any creature. So if they followed up with any creature, I could still Cryptic tap their team the following turn, and then I'm super live to any burn spell. So I think it's right to just like keep my pressure in play. Now, if I wanted to choose the fastest deck, I'd choose the Narset Cannon deck because that deck dies very quickly. The As Foretold League, I think, was almost 2 hours last time we played it. Hey, Skip Den, thanks for checking out Honey. If I missed any Honey notifications, thanks for the support, folks. I do appreciate that. These lava men just chipping away here, chipping a chair. KCI. That decade's getting towards the top of the queue. We'll be playing that soon. No, I had Snapcaster Mage in play. I think I just let this happen and then play the click out here. I feel like Grixis has to easily be the fan favorite, right? Alright, let's play my Clique and then hopefully draw some spells off the top here, like Cryptic would be absurd. Unfortunately, we can't click lands out of our hand, otherwise we would. Tracker, Skoos. Am I supposed to leave them with both of these? I think I'm just supposed to leave them both. I guess this makes my Snapcaster Mages a lot worse. This game's not going to be about Tracker. I feel like I take nothing or I take Skoos. The people have spoken. Grixis, Goryo, as foretold. Thank you for the absurd amount of bits, as always, Eneronics. I appreciate it. Happy 4th of July. I think I just want to take the Skoos, because not only does it make my Snapcaster Mages worse, but then Sleeton, thanks for the bits as well. It makes it harder to race, too, because it gains them health. So, Path to Exile is a great draw. So is Spell Queller and Bolt. Alright, well that's just some absurdity. This game isn't about outdrawing, chat. This game is about killing my opponent. We're not trying to grind here. So damn bad. Thanks for checking out, honey. How many dollars was that bit donation? So you just delete 2 zeros off to figure out how many bits the donation, how many dollars a donation is. So 25,000 bits is $250. Because Anoronics is the real baller. Let's go ahead and just path this. Yeah, Anoronics has been doing some streamings. You should give him a follow if you haven't already. You can click on his name. The Irish Man with that 4-month resubscription. Thank you very much and welcome back. So I'm gonna hold this Hallowed Fountain in my hand in the event they have some kind of discard spell for it. Happy to be back, Justin Ells. Thank you for that 5-month resubscription. So another $250 gets me a league after Anoronics. Maybe. I'd have to sort that one with Christy. I can definitely do one more without asking, but 2 more might be pushing it. We'll see, we'll see. Probably, though. Christy likes money. I could probably talk her into that. My wife is ignoring me, chat. After no blocks and losing your walker. I knew the Cryptic was on top, Spazzy. I knew the Cryptic was on top from a Serum Visions. So I knew that Cryptic was there when I let my Teferi die. Well, thanks, Trowie. And honestly, subscribing to my channel on Twitch is more than I would get from you not using ad blocker. So thanks for the support. T-Ro, thank you, T-Ro. I'm gonna go ahead and put this into play tapped. This is Jeskai Burn. Blast you. It's true. Most of my heads can't be blocked. Alright, so they're dead to a burn spell here, assuming they don't hit a fatal push off this clue. Actually pay the next 6 months of his mortgage. Alright, burn spell, Snapcaster, burn spell, Snapcaster, burn spell, Snapcaster, burn spell, Snapcaster. Oh! Blast it! Pew pew! Get you. Get you. Clearing the cup, Sleeton. Yeah! Yeah! Thanks for the bit, Sleeton. There should AJC dude, thanks for checking out Honey. There should probably just be clicks in this main deck. Click is such an absurd card. This card is a big part of why I want to try and make fairies work for Indy. I think Click is very well positioned in the current format. All right, we're 1-1. Rolling on up, onward, upward, backward, forward. Yeah, that's probably fair, Unbanned Twin. Would I mind elaborating a bit on Click? I think evasive threats are very valuable in Modern right now. It's a big part of why Mantis Rider in Humans is such a good deck. So that's one of the reasons, and Click is good for similar reasons. Arky, thanks for checking out Honey. I do think Click is a little bit worse against Lingering Souls, obviously, because it's an X1. But if Click is well positioned, where does that leave my Spooksters? Spirits, I think, is going to be, especially once they get that new Lord out of M19, it's probably going to be a really great deck. Do I bottom things aggressively here? I think I'm just looking for mana, right? So against Snapcaster Mage, it's like kind of appealing to keep one or both of these. I think I just need lands. You've tried UB and you are... I might try Grixis at some point. I'm not sure. I'm not trying. I need to try blue-red more first, I think. I'm waiting for Alpine Moon to exist before I try more blue-red fairies. I really want that card out of M19 before I spent, So Justin sent a lot of money via direct donation, so he doesn't send all of his stuff via bits. Yes, yeah, I do agree that this build of Jeskai is much better than the Jeskai Teferi deck that we just got done playing against Tron. Click is good versus Tron, correct. It is Disruption and a Clock. So this hand in particular isn't super amazing against Tron, but I think in general this build is better against Tron. So they didn't have a threat here, which is like kind of absurdly good for us. I think I'm actually going to go ahead and end step the Snapcaster Mage here just to get a 2-power dork into play. And then next turn I'm going to play the Celestial Colonnade tap, so that way in 2 turns we can have Cryptic Command up. Yeah, just like put my Ambush Viper into play. It kind of sucks that I can't upstairs these Helixes just yet, but I definitely want to put myself in a position to cast this Cryptic Command as soon as possible. Red mana. They have K-Return. We all know Just is the trial boy. This just has to happen, unfortunately. What's a good counter to a Blood Moon deck? Hoping they don't draw Blood Moon. They could be Red Tron, or they could just be Green Red Tron. God, I hope they have the post-Force Spike Land of Shame. God, I hope they have the post-Force Spike Land of Shame. Land of Shame! Alright, so we're still pretty dead to Cryptic Command, or to Ulamog. If they don't have Ulamog as a payoff here, we could potentially be okay still with the answers that we have in our hand. You do have double swords now. Unfortunately, I don't have a path. So that means I need to Cryptic this. Tilt. I do have a lot of Friendly League trophies at this point. We play a lot of Friendly Leagues. What's going on? We have the technology. Well, I mean, if our Tron opponent is the most unlucky Tron player ever, and we get to continue having them brick, we could maybe burn them out here. What determines if you play a friendly league or a competitive one? I only play friendly leagues. The rake is just lower. There's less. The prize structure in the friendly leagues is flatter, so you're gambling less. There's only two reasons to play competitive leagues, is if you want to gamble more, or if you care about qualifier points. And I don't care about qualifier points. I don't play in Magic's online MOX tournaments, and I'm rather risk averse, so I'd prefer to just like be able to focus on not gambling and focus on playing Magic and making content. Like I see no reason to gamble $12 every time I play a Magic League. Yeah, maybe Electrolyze is better. I've got a hot take. Everybody's win rate is worse than they think it is. A lot of the people that think they're going infinite really well in friendly leagues. Would you do one if you got enough? No, I don't think playing in competitive leagues makes for good content. I don't see any reason to gamble more. It is the same content. Requires me to gamble more. I don't see any reason to gamble extra. We're very dead to this Ulamog. There's nowhere near close enough to dying to beat this Ulamog. Alright, so Spreading Seas and Damping Spheres are easy board-ins here. Rejection and Negate are great. Vendilion Clique is great. Electrolyze is really slow. And then we have to still beat the Ugin Deft Fangirl. Like, remember, the Ugin is still ticking up too. So there's a lot that you have to beat. Yeah, trimming some Helix is fine. I wonder if I'm supposed to keep all the Path to Exiles. We probably have enough counterspells that trimming some of these is okay. Maybe I just want to cut all the Helixes. Maybe that's right. I feel like I want to leave. Cutting some Serum Visions actually doesn't sound absurd. Maybe that's okay, actually. Yeah, I'm going to do that. They're kind of clunky and slow. You need creatures to attack your opponent to death. So while Spell Queller's countering effect isn't super valuable in this matchup, the fact that it just attacks for 2 turn in and turn out is a big deal. Electrolyze is fine. It's not amazing, but like the fact that it draws a card to replace itself is a big deal. And I think Wear Tear is a little bit clunky and slow. We're 1-1 in this league, and we're currently down a game against Tron. Thanks, Tro. That's true. Yeah, getting to tag Oblivion Stone with Queller is great. Oh, here's hoping. Here's hoping we draw a land next turn. T-Row. I'm gonna keep messing that up. T-Row, I'm real bad. Harley did just drive past the house. Time me out until you can pronounce my name right. Any land. Any land. Womp, womp, womp. It's unfortunate. Libelik with that $10 nation. Thank you very much for the support. I've been eating free catered burgers the last hour. Someone send help to Vancouver, please. Put this meme towards Tribal Zoo. Will do. Alright, here's my 2-1. Here's my 2-1. It's coming for you. Can I get a land this turn, please? Please? Happy Trader Day. What's going on, Lithanol? Land is great here. It means if they have Oblivion Stone or something next turn, I can Queller them. And if they don't give us something meaningful to Queller, I can Vendilion Clique them. Oh, actually? Huh. I think I'm actually going to Spell Queller here instead of Vendilion Clique because they're on Kozilek's return. So if I play the Clique, there's a non-zero chance they just, like, end-step K-return us and, like, kill all of our threats. So I like playing the Queller out for no value because it allows me to not lose all of my threats to a Kozilek's return, which I think is ideal. K-return is colorless. You're not wrong. If they K-return just to kill my Queller here, I think I'm okay with this. Yeah, I'm just gonna let this happen. What if they packed for Urza's Mine? Well, thankfully they already have an Urza Mine, so we'll be okay. Yeah, that's true too. They must have another answer to Damping Sphere, right? If they're braiding our thing instead of that. Thought not Seer. I'm just gonna go ahead and Queller this, I think. I just want to get my pressure into play. I think I'm going to go ahead and Spreading Seas them this turn. I really don't want to extend into a potential sweeper here, and Spreading Seas can give me a chance to hit a land drop, and it allows me to still hold up Rejection. You can unfortunately not Twitch Prime for mobile, so you have to do that. Have to do that on the desktop. Test Jesus. Actually, maybe this link works. I'm not sure if that link works for Prime or not. Rejected. We really want to draw a land here so that way we can snap Rejection next turn. Ding. Because remember, Damping Sphere is symmetrical, so if we want to snap a spell back, we have to pay 1 extra. Feed the Bear. Speaking of Twitch Prime with that brand new Twitch Prime support, welcome. Thank you for the support. Happy 4th, Dedabur. My free trial money. Well, thank you for the support. Thanks for keeping me employed here. We guessed on the wrong Tron piece, chat. Spread the wrong one. Yes, you can pay the extra 1 on Logic, not by exiling cards. They actually can't cast this Wormcoil this turn because it currently costs 7. Michael Ferv, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If they have K-return here, I'm going to be a little sad, but I think I want to just get this extra pressure into play. They're gonna make us sad with K-return at some point. Maybe you could argue I'm supposed to wait on the Clique until they play the Wormcoil. Look at that hand. Hey, Alex. How happy are you now that streaming is successful for you? I am super glad to be here. It's kind of been a wild ride doing this for work. Work. Truly lucky to get to do something that I really love and call it a job. And thank you for helping me do that, Alex. Thanks for the 5-month resubscription. So this knocks them down to 1. It's funny how we had Damping Sphere and Seize, and they just like never had Tron this game. How does one find the deck list to contribute to? Yep, you just take a peek there in the donation queue, Sleeton. And you've sent a bunch of bits in today, so if there's a particular deck in there you'd like to see sooner, as a reminder, every $1 you donate or 100 bits you cheer, you can bump a deck in the queue by 1 point. The people that support my content here get to pick how soon what we see and how soon we play it. I've definitely worked hard, but I'm very aware of the fact that there are a lot of people that work very hard at lots of things in life and don't get paid off with the success for that hard work. So it's not just hard work that goes into stuff like this. There's definitely a little bit of luck that goes into it too. Right place, right time, and all that jazz. Thanks for them cupcakes. Those are Christy's favorite kind of bits. Is this a mulligan? I feel like this is supposed to be a mulligan. Test Jesus, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime support. So, like, this hand doesn't have any of our powerful hate cards. It doesn't have a clock. It doesn't have red mana. Yeah, I think this is going to be a close 7 that I'm going to mulligan. You got a fork. Hey, waifu. Thank you. What is it?
This stream is in no way sponsored and endorsed by loving wives everywhere, but let's face it, there are no loving wives.
There's no loving. You don't love me? Please love me. We definitely need a 3rd land tier, so let's do that. This hand's pretty decent.
What is this?
What?
What is this?
You ever considered doing a video on setting up a Twitch stream? It's actually far less complicated than a lot of people think it is. Using OBS is very simple. You want to say hi to the internet, Declan?
They need you to mark off their bingo
They
squares.
need to mark off Hoogland Child in the bingo square. Can you say hi, internet? Can you say hi?
Yes.
Yes. Oh,
Yes, you can.
The Umi Zoomies are more interesting than being on Twitch.
He answered your question. You asked him if he could say hi, and he said he can.
No.
Yeah. Thank you for bringing me food, wife. I love you.
Declan helped. Did you help bring Daddy food? You brought his fork, right?
Green White Scales, thanks for the bits. 10 out of 10. I appreciate the support.
What is it?
So, I don't need to play the Damping Sphere right now, but I don't have anything else to do with my mana this turn, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Fallen Dark. Put this towards Grishelbrain. Gotta floop the piggies. 10 out of 10. I appreciate that.
Try it.
Why can't my hair look like that? It doesn't quite come in that full anymore. More for Green White Scales, sorry. So just talking to Christy there real quick. Thank you for the bits and the support. I appreciate it. Let's focus on beating Tron here. I think I want to Queller this, right? Wub, that can count as Christy being on stream for your bingo cards.
That's why I did it.
That's why I did it. She's always got the bingo her back. Thank you for the brand new tier 1 sub, Wub.
We got Chat's back, right?
Pretty confident we want to Queller this since they missed their land drop last turn.
The letter E.
Just like, we want to get Queller into play anyways, and they can't cast another spell this turn because of Damping Sphere. I think I'm actually going to play out a second Damping Sphere here because, well, I guess that makes my Snapcaster worse. Yeah, I'm going to hold on to the other Damping Sphere now because of... I got quad force, but no bingo. Brutal. Aren't we end of turn snappying? I don't think so. I think I'm just going to end of turn upstairs the Helix. And that way, this way, if I draw a 5th land, I can snap. I can snap Helix next turn. Grab another blue source here, so that when we draw one of our Cryptic Commands, we can cast it. Is Black-White Goryopox? Yeah, yep, that's the Black-White Gonti deck that we played with Goryo's Vengeance. Yeah, I think I just let this happen here. I just let this happen. Basic forest, yep. So, Damping Sphere makes Snap Helix cost 5. Serum Visions sounds great. Vendilion Clique sounds great. So we're not going to click proactively here, because in the event they have 2 scary things, I just want to Logic Knot whichever scary thing they play. Although Clique potentially puts them dead. Nah, I'm just going to pass. I'm not going to draw Step Clique. Just going to let this happen. Whatever happens, happens here. I could have TKS, yeah. Well, we beat Tron, which is great on the scoreboard here. We're 2-1 with Jeskai Burn. I definitely think this is better than Dirtily Jeskai to set the bar low. That team's pretty good. Probably just go like Spirebluff Canal go. Yep. Normally I wait until the stream is over to eat, but Anironic sent a big donation to run one more league after this one, so I need to eat now. Hey chat, you know what's great? Spell Queller can counter things cast off of Cavern of Souls. That's what's kind of great. This deck probably has an absurd humans matchup. We've got Grim Lavamancer on the board too. Yeah, I can't believe they kept one land on the draw with nothing else going on. You guys want to see something rude? Yeah, definitely bouncing the land. Definitely bouncing the land. Yep, all right, good, excellent. Of course I want to see it. Show it to me. Do it, Hogland, do it. It's, yeah, actually, last time we played this build of Jeskai, it felt pretty good too. I think 4 Electrolyze in the main is too many. I think there's possibly some work to be done in the sideboard too, but I think the change I would immediately make towards KCI and any other democracy I've said there as well. Sounds good, sounds good. Thank you for the very generous bits, Sleeton. We'll probably get to KCI on Saturday then. As a heads up, my Thursday and Friday streams are going to be all Legacy. But Saturday, I'm going to be doing a 12-hour stream, and we'll be back to Modern for Saturday. Yeah, think of Clique as like a removal spell for Mantis Rider that doesn't get affected by Thalia. In fact, putting Cliques into the main deck is the one change I would make in this main deck 75. 2 changes. I would play a second Steam Vents over one of these Spirebluff Canals, and then I would play 2 Cliques and 2 Electrolyzes. Only half a year, seems like it's been less. Jesus, 696, thank you for the 6-month resubscription. Have a wooden sword and begin your training for becoming a Knight of Hooglandia. I thought I was muted there and I wasn't. Sorry, you probably just got some gross noises. I think what's it called just doesn't do enough. I think Restoration Angels doesn't accomplish enough. It's possible I should have double fetched there for the Lava Man. Yeah, we're pretty dead at this point. I guess if I draw a removal spell next turn, we might be okay. J-Rod the Lefty, thanks for the brand new Twitch Prime and welcome. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch. Thanks for supporting mine this month. I'm going to mute myself really quick here and let my opponent kill us and finish the rest of this lunch really quick, and then we'll be back to normal commentated streams. I mean, losing games of Magic like that just come with the territory. If you're not okay losing games of Magic like that, where you basically don't get to do anything, like, you probably shouldn't play the game. Magic has a lot of variance in it. There's a lot of places to leverage your skill and mitigate some of it too, but there's still going to be games where you just don't get to make meaningful decisions. We're gonna go double bottom there. Well, I kind of want a 4th land. We're probably gonna find one with these other Serum Visions. No, I think 3's fine. This deck likes to be, this build likes to be pretty aggressive on average, I think. So I think I'd prefer to have slightly less tapped lands in it. This is a pretty easy top here, right? Play this Grim Lavaman past the turn. Bolting the champion seemed appealing, but getting Grim Lavamancer into play is super great. These Serum Visions feed him nicely as well. Next turn, we'll be able to go Serum Visions, Lightning Bolt something, Grim Lavamancer, another thing. Unless my opponent has, like, their copy of Dismember out of their sideboard, they're going to be in pretty big trouble here. The Eviler Twin with that brand new Twitch Prime. Welcome, 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 and thank you for the support. I do appreciate it. Opponent just like in the tank here trying to figure out, are they not going to play any more humans this turn? That would be absurd for us. Just going to go ahead and kill this now. Cast some Serum Visions. I think we're just keeping all the removal spells at this point, right? Everything that kills a thing gets to stay. Is their plan just, like, not put anything into play until they can, like, Reflector Mage this Grim Lavamancer? That seems really ambitious if so. Spend my whole mana, spend all my mana this turn. Feels good. Second blue source is great. I'm not going to attack with this Lava Man because I really don't want to trade it for a Champion of the Parish if they have another one. You mean like cut, click, and snap from my deck? No. Snapcaster Mage is arguably the best card in my deck in this matchup because it's another removal spell that also attacks people to death. Sir Teaglesworth, that's not even very good against us. Just gonna snap Electrolyze here. They have another Thalia Guardian of Thraben. This could get punished here a touch. Yeah, I think we're gonna get punished by a Thalia. This deck is full of 4-ofs. We need 4 Teferi in the side. Put the bits towards your choice. Thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you for the support. So, I think I'm far enough ahead to take this risk here. I think it's fine. Like, it doesn't feel good to just, like, have my Snapcaster Mage, but it's whatever. Thalia's Lieutenant doesn't put 1/1 counters on Godek Teague because it's not a human. So, I think if I could have gotten got by both of those things, I wouldn't have played into it, but I think the fact that I only got by that. Wow, super punished here. Wow, that's really brutal because they're going to have to kill my Grim Lavamancer now. How many leagues of deck? It depends on the deck, honestly. Depends on, like, what kind of archetype it is. Teague is a Kithkin advisor. Play this Colonnade. The fact that we lost value on a Snapcaster and our Grim Lavamancer could put us a little bit behind. I think Griselbrand is a very good Magic deck. I think it's very powerful and doing objectively strong things. We did actually get permission if Justin wanted to do another kicker league after Anoronics. Christy said that would be fine. She might have rolled her eyes, but she said it was fine. I think she quietly still thinks it's absurd that people pay me money to do what I do. She doesn't complain about it because it pays the bills, but... what are we doing here? Am I offering Snapcaster Mage for a Godek Teague here? I think I'm supposed to... It is absurd. It is a little bit absurd. Let's attack for 4 here. I think I'm okay offering this trade. If they want to take it, that's fine. My sequencing here is a little bit medium. I should have attacked before Lava Man, obviously. Tanker 4, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime support. I know there's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting mine this month. Would it be absurd in Jund Tracker to run just 3 trackers and main board the Lava Man? I don't know. I think I'd cut Bloodbraid Elves before I cut Tireless Tracker. I think maxing on Tracker is a good idea. How much to ever rolls her eyes again on stream? Oh, geez. So they get to kill Lavamancer here, and they get to gain 2. Tracker's just so good at what it does that I think you want 4 of that before you consider any other card advantage spell. The fact that this deck doesn't have any actual sweepers in it and it's just all spot removal makes cards like Godek Teague look really embarrassing. Yeah, I understand why they don't let the Twitch Prime auto renew though. There would definitely be a lot of people that would have like their like friends and family who don't actually watch them on Twitch, just like, hey, come give me your Twitch Prime even though you don't actually watch me stream. So the manual renewal is there to like make sure that people that are renewing are actually like watching the content. Declan Scott, does mom know you came down here? You got that. Thank you, buddy. You're a good kid. You're a good kid. Can we carry you? You want to show the internet what you brought me? Say it's not Jack Daniels, it's iced tea. Thank you, tiny man. You're a good kid. They're looking pretty dead.
What is that?
What is what?
What is that?
It's trail mix. It's Dad's snack.
You are Negro. You are one. You are one to you are one.
Dad does have lots of snacks down here because Dad has to eat while he works. Can you go back upstairs with Mom? She misses you.
I go.
You'll go to school tomorrow, okay? Go back upstairs with Mom.
Okay.
Love you, buddy. Good listening. He just ran out of the room screaming. Kids are funny. He's hilarious. All right, well. Alright, he might not have actually gone back upstairs. Christy might have to come get him. Yeah, this hand looks fine. Zuru, thank you very much for the 2-month free subscription. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Welcome back. I'm not sure that I like 4 Logic Knots in this deck either. I feel like 4 Logic Knots might be greedy. Amulet. Okay, this matchup should be interesting. Declan is always happy to oblige more screaming. Alright, he's actually going back upstairs now, I think. If he doesn't go back up, I'll drag him up. But it sounds like he's listening now. Sounds like he's going back up. Second Amulet. Brecken Sky with the sub gift. Thank you, bud. I appreciate that. So, with this Logic Knot in my hand, I'm actually just going to get aggressive here. We need to kill our opponent ASAP, especially with this double Amulet draw. So let's just get my 2-1 into play. How's the knot, Jack Daniels? So, Jeskai is an archetype that gets submitted to the stream a lot. And the last 2 to 3 times we played this archetype, including the Jeskai Teferi list before this one, it's felt really medium to me. I've liked this build of Jeskai a lot. We've played this one before, and I think I would play this one again. I think I would move 2 Vendilion Cliques into my main deck, so that way the Electrolyze to be a little bit less clunky, and I might replace some of these Logic Knots, but I think in general this build is pretty reasonable. Actually makes my Logic Knot worse, which kind of sucks. If they brick on a Titan for a little bit, we could potentially run them down here, but things are not looking good for us overall. They brick for like, I think we need to brick for maybe only 1 turn here since we have the Path to Exile. The donation queue is still partially frozen. We'll see where the queue ends up at after the 12-hour stream on Saturday, but my goal is to get the donation queue to under 40 deck lists before I open it back up for normal $10 donations. As a reminder, if you really want to see me play something sooner rather than later, for $50 donations or a tier 3 subscription, which is $24.99, I am still putting new decks into the queue for those, but the $10 donations, I'm waiting until I have the queue a little bit smaller, just so it doesn't get ballooned up too much. Alright, they have a giant. They have a giant, chat. And of course, it's uncounterable. So. I do have this path. I have Path Snap Path, which is kind of nice. The problem is I only have 4 power in play. Oh, we're getting double Titaned because of double Amulet. Forgot about that. Just move on with our lives here. They're gonna have enough to double Titan us this turn. Alright, chat. Let me tell you about my friend Wetball. He and I go way back. Way back. Tell you about my wet balls. Spreading Seas isn't very good here because the opponent just like bounces their land back to your hand that she Spreading Seas. So I think I'd rather just have Damping Sphere. Yeah, I like Damping Sphere because it turns off all their things, but Wear Tear's okay. I don't know. I'm not really a fan of, like, fighting over the amulets always. Drink fight milk. I'm gonna run to the restroom really quick while they're figuring out how to sideboard, and when I come back, we're gonna finish this match, then we've got at least one more league after this one. Don't go anywhere, folks. Thanks for hanging out. Look at that. Didn't even miss anything. Yeah, a lot of the times, Amulet players will board out some or all of their amulets against interaction decks like this because they know that people tend to bring in artifact removal against them, and they tend to want to play longer games of Magic in this style of matchup anyways. Thalon 3000 with that 3-month resubscription. Thank you very much and welcome back. I appreciate it. There weren't enough Jeskai decks in the queue for that, young dingo, and the queue is so large that I just couldn't afford to take a full day off and stream decks that weren't in the queue. Seemed irresponsible to do. It's our record. We are 3-1 currently. We are down a game in this match. Spell Pierce. That's brutal. It's a bit rough. Do I prefer... No, I think Mardu Pyromancer is the much better deck. In fact, I think the Jund deck's probably worse than straight green-black as well. Green. I don't know how I prefer green-black versus Mardu Pyromancer. Like, obviously, Mardu Pyromancer puts up more results, but I'm a big fan of how straight green-black plays in general. Opponent had a very strong draw. The turn 1 Spell Pierce into the Amulet. There's a good chance we're dead here, and this is just going to end up a 3-2 deck, but, you know, that's how it goes. How many cards are you willing to sign if I happen to see you at Indy? I don't know, like, less than a dozen is probably fine. More than that probably gets obnoxious. Yeah, definitely. Happy to sign some trackers. Azusa. I think I just let this happen. They already have a lot of mana. Take a peek at their hand. Oh, you know what? I probably should have gotten Amped Phil. Thanks for checking out, honey. I appreciate it. Probably should have gotten a blue source there. So that way I could cast Cryptic Command guaranteed. It's our record. We are 3-2 currently. Always happy to sign stuff. Whatever you would like me to... Whatever property of yours you would like for me to damage, I am happy to damage with the Sharpie. I believe we went 4-1. Yeah, 4-1. We lost the last match to Infect, I think. Will you sign my Stoneforge mistake? Definitely Eneronix. Island. Island. Ding. Ding. That probably puts us in a pretty good spot getting to hit the Cryptic mana. Like, Clique's a pretty good clock. Again, Clique is just, like, very, very good right now. Yeah, I'll be at the Open in Indianapolis as well as Gen Con in Indianapolis, and then I'll also be at the Team Open in Las Vegas in November. This is fine. Unless their last card is exactly Cavern of Souls, letting this resolve is fine. The Indie Open is the last weekend of this month. It's like July something. Yeah, 28 sounds right. If you really wanted your property damaged by me, you can message me in private too. I have a P.O. box that I don't mind if people send cards to, so long as you put a self-addressed stamped envelope that covers the return postage in there. I really don't mind. Have some soggy balls. The Amulet deck doesn't play Stirrings any longer. They used to once upon a time, but they don't in their current forms. So long as you put enough postage with it to get it back to you, or send a donation so I can send it back out, I don't mind. Just so long as I don't have to pay to send it back to you. I don't mind where it comes from or where I'm sending it back to. We'll probably get back to Orlando again at some point. Christy really wants to take the kids to Disney again now that they're a little bit older. Yeah, Indy's a sweet town. I love that their whole downtown area is connected by the skywalks. I can DM it to you, Equinox. I have a P.O. box that I give out. Or if you want to get it for yourself, if you go to the Bodhi Linux website and click on the donation page, the P.O. box is listed there. That's my personal P.O. box. I manage their stuff. Is there value to shock there so you can Cryptic? Yeah, probably, actually. I probably should have shocked so I could snap Cryptic. I can snap Cryptic. It just cost me 7 mana instead of 6. Oh, was that my 6th land? Yeah, if it was my 6th land, I couldn't snap Cryptic. I need 7 to Cryptic because of the sphere. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I need 7 to snap Cryptic. Engineered explosives. What if we didn't do that? Yeah, I think we just go, like, counter tap your team, right? I'm about to get Spell Pierced here. Pact of Negation. Yep. They're dead to Cryptic Command because we get to bounce one of their blue sources here. They're also dead to that, right? Because I get to go path this, hit you for 2, bolt you. They have 1 card in hand. This deck's been really sweet, Diaz. Actually, it's funny. We played a Jeskai Teferi deck before this one, and my response to playing that deck was, I really don't want to play Jeskai decks anymore, but this one's actually been really sweet. I've liked it a lot. I would definitely play this configuration of Jeskai again in the future. I think I have some good feedback on things I'd like to change. Savathor, with that 2-month free subscription, thank you very much and welcome back. This doesn't currently make blue mana because of Damping Sphere, so that's why Cryptic Bounce would have been lethal. This is the Jeskai Quad Laser deck, yep. It's just all 4 ofs. In fact, one of the things I would change is I would break up the 4 Electrolyze in the main. I think that's too many of that card. What's going on, Interonics? We're heading into game 3 of the last match with this one. We'll give some feedback, and then we'll be on to Goryo Gifts, or Goryo As Foretold. Yeah, Diaz, I took the liberty of adding Damping Spheres and some stuff to the deck since the list that you sent was predated those cards. I'm going to keep this hand. It's like not super exciting, but it's fine. I think if you're not playing a combo deck, you should probably be playing Serum Visions. It's actually a pretty good draw, because it means I can fetch Shock and then Serum Visions, just makes our logic not better sooner. Fucking Cavern of Souls, man. This card is a big part of why blue control is pretty terrible in this format. It holds a lot of blame for it. Oh, look, I forgot to unsub. Tune in next month when I do it again. Thank you for the tier 3 resub, Niv. I appreciate it. If you want to add a new deck to the queue, make sure you drop me a submission via the Google form that's linked under the stream now. We've got Getting Real Fancy here. You can also, alternatively, if there's already a deck in the queue that you like, you can bump that up with your tier 3 sub, but tier 3 subs do get to add a new deck still if they'd like. What's our record? We are 3-1, and this is game 3 against Amulet Titan. You wouldn't be interested in another Goryo's list, would you? Possibly, Interonix. Yeah, ship it to me on Twitter, and we can maybe do it on Saturday. The problem with putting a record on the overlay is I have to manually update it, and that's just another thing to do while I'm streaming. And there's just too much going on that I'm going to end up forgetting. Can't be countered Tireless Tracker. Okay. Well, I was going to path this, but I guess I'm snap bolting it now. Actually, am I bolting them? Yeah, I'm bolting them. I'm going to path this still. Actually, I'm going to offer the trade here. I doubt they're going to take it. Again, logic not looking kind of medium. No, the MTG bot has a record command, but it's often wrong. The Bantwalker's deck is playable. I don't know that I'd call it tier 1 or anything like that, but it's certainly playable. Blue-green is the most proven infect strategy, so that's probably the best. I guess I get into a little bit of trouble if they have a Pact of Negation here. The fact that this is on human, if they don't have another bounce land, that's pretty good for us. It means I get to Logic, not a Cryptic Command, a potential Titan down the line. That sounds like a lot of stuff. Crossroads is interesting over Radiant Fountain. Sounds good, Anoronics. Can't counter that. There's 6 cards in hand. We have a couple of answers here, but our clock is kind of slow. I guess the fact that we have the Celestial Colonnade in play is a big deal for us. No, we've actually played Mono Black Devotion on stream a couple of times, and every time we play it, it's just really terrible. It's always just like, we get done playing it, and it's just like, this is too clunky and slow. Just like the finishers aren't good. It's another uncounterable human. They have an Azusa coming, maybe? Probably want to restart Moto before the next league. Poking along here. Thanks for checking out Honey there, I appreciate it. Oh, they just have nothing going on? That's good for us. Yeah, Moto is definitely moving slowly. More cryptics, okay. What is Honey? Honey is a free browser extension that when you're shopping online, it searches the internet for coupon codes for the things that you're buying anyways. And if it can save your money, it says, hey, here's a coupon code for the thing that you were going to buy anyways. And if it can't save you money, it doesn't bother you at all. It's completely Completely non-invasive, well-designed software, and if you install it via my affiliate link there, bit.ly/HugelHoney, I get a little kickback here on stream, so it supports my content. Angel. Uncounterable angel spell. What is an uncounterable angel spell? Yeah, I can do that one next if you prefer, Anoronics. I'm not picky. How does Honey make money? So that's a good question. That was actually the first thing I asked when they approached me. Honey gets a kickback from the sites you're buying stuff from every time it saves someone money. So they don't sell user information or anything nasty like that. They make money by being a useful product. Sparrow, thanks for checking out, Honey. I think we're pretty dead here. Lith, not really, because getting things for cheaper with a discount code can often encourage people to buy things that they weren't planning on buying right away anyways. Correct, yeah. So people like to get deals on things, and they're more likely to buy them if they're getting a deal. So they encourage people to buy things sooner rather than later. Exonaut, thanks for checking out, Honey. Unlike the people who hoard reserved list cards would like you to think, actual companies that are smart and good businesses, they don't make money off of selling really expensive things. They tend to make money off of people buying in volume. So they'd rather make a little bit of money off of a bunch of people rather than a lot of money off a single person. Yeah, definitely, Reese. I agree. I think their business model is sweet. It's awesome that they're able to make money doing something useful. Sifra, thanks for checking out, Honey. Is this a Pact of Negation? Maybe I should tap their guy in response here. It's possible this is a Pact of Negation. No, Cavern's not a trigger Anoronic, so it doesn't work that way. It primarily, they focus on looking for deals in the US and EU, but it does work some places outside of that on occasion. This deck might play Alpine Moon, I don't know. That's a good question, actually. I'm not sure. Man, I might play a split of the two. I might play a split of two, like 2 and 2. They got Vesuva, so they just like want another Cavern here. Wonder if they already have Pact of Negation. Will Miller, thanks for checking out, Honey. Do I play around Pact of Negation here? I feel like I'm not supposed to. I'm gonna let them go get what they're getting here. I didn't know what they were getting, Therese. I didn't know what they were getting at the time. So I'm gonna make them do this. Yeah, that's the line to beat them if they don't have Pact of Negation. We Snapcaster Mage, tap their team, draw a card, and then we can activate Colonnade and attack for lethal. No, I haven't seen Hive Mind out of them. So they're going to transmute here, and then in response to this transmute, I'm going to go ahead and cast the Snapcaster Mage, because this one is likely getting Pact of Negation. they don't already have it, this Transmute is definitely getting it. God, that's brutal. Yeah, I think we're dead. Yeah, we're pretty dead. Alright, so things that I like and things that I don't like. I like this more aggressive build of Jeskai way more than the builds that a lot of people have been playing and submitting on this stream. In fact, I would probably make it slightly more aggressive by adding more creatures to the main. I think the easiest change to make here that I'm pretty certain is correct is cutting these and putting these 2 clicks in the main as more threats. At least one more League, Rock. Gonna play at least one more League. I think the next change I would make, I think playing only 1 Steam Vents is really greedy, so I would turn this 4th Spirebluff Canals into a 2nd Steam Vent. I don't think Geist is very good. Does that warrant a timeout? You know. So yeah, I think I would play a 2nd Steam Vent and I move those clicks into the main. You could maybe play Mantis Rider. I don't know. I kind of like being kind of controlling and aggressive. Like, Mantis Rider is a purely aggressive card, whereas every other card in this deck can be aggressive, but it can also lend to playing a controlling game. So I like that. I think 4 Logic Knots is silly. I think a lot of people tend to bring in Graveyard Hate against these Snapcaster Mage decks anyways for whatever reason. So I think 4 Logic Knots gets hosed by that a little bit too hard. I'd probably split them with Mana Leak or Negates in the main deck potentially. Could be okay. And then I'm not quite sure what I'd round out the sideboard with. Maybe another counterspell. I think some number of Alpine Moon might be okay in here. Azcanta could be okay. That could maybe be fine. But I like the core, mostly 4s. I think this definitely felt better than a lot of the more controlling Jeskai decks people have submitted. Alright, what are we doing? Anoronic sent a Goryo's deck list here. Let's grab that for